Good morning, seniors. Hope you had a great weekend. A quick announcement. Seniors, if you were able to attend the Regional College and Career Expo yesterday, I sent you a remind text. We would love for you to upload any photos that you took. If you will look at my remind text, there is a place where we would love for you to send your photos from the College and Career Expo. So please do that as soon as you can. This morning, Casi Clark from KHEAA is with me. She is our Regional Outreach Coordinator, and Casi is going to help us do a very, very important task today. We're going to create your student FSA ID numbers. So everyone listen up, tune in please, and be ready.
Thank you so much, Miss Dame. Now guys, what you need to do first is be sure you have your laptop up, open, and going, ready to be connected to the internet, and have a pencil or pen ready. We have provided you with two very important pieces of information this morning. First of all, we will have the FSA ID instruction sheet given to you and your FSA ID creation template. Both of these are very important for what we're doing today. What we're doing today is we're creating your FSA ID. This is simply the username and password that you will use for your FAFSA. You will use it to log into your FAFSA, to sign your FAFSA, to accept your award letters, to sign your student loan documents if you take out a student loan. There are lots and lots of things. You can do nothing with your financial aid unless you have an FSA ID. So it's very important that you follow along with me this morning and you write it down, write every single thing down on this template, and then save it and keep it for when I come back to see you in October when we file your FAFSAs. Whenever we're starting out, we are going to go to the website fsaid.ed.gov. Now, if you had a hard time seeing that, or hearing that, or you didn't type as fast as I was talking, you can simply look at number 1 on your instruction sheet. If you follow this instruction sheet perfectly, you will know exactly how to get your FSA ID. When you're there, you're going to use your personal email address to start your FSA ID. Now, if you don't have a personal email address, you may use your school email address, but I want you to notice that on the back of your instruction sheet, the very top set of instructions says if you use your the second set of instructions says if you use your school email address. And that talks you through how to change that before you graduate, because your school email address is going to be disabled when you graduate. So if you need to use this ID or retrieve this ID next year when you file your FAFSA, your school email address won't exist anymore. That's why it's very important that you use your personal email address. The next thing you're going to do is create a username and a password. Usernames can be very simple. Please don't include spaces, dots, columns, underscores, anything like that. My username is literally Casi Clark. That's as easy as yours can be. Don't make yours Casi Clark. That'd be creepy. But you can make it as simple as your name or something like that. That's as easy as you can go with your username. With your password, it needs to contain an uppercase, a lowercase, and a number. It cannot contain any part of your name, your date of birth, or your social security number. If you look at number, let me find it on here, 4, we recommend that for your password you use College 2017 with a capital C. And that will help you remember you started college in 2017. This is what you're using to start the college process. That's an easy password to remember. Plus it includes all of the requirements that you need for your password. You'll have to answer a couple of things telling us that you're at least 13 years or older. And then whenever you click continue, it's going to ask you for your social security number. At this point, if you don't know your social security number, you may have to stop. Your teacher may be able to look it up. I'm not sure if that's a possibility. Or you can just hang tight there, and whenever homeroom is over, you can visit Miss Dame and she can give you your social security number. Or if you have your phone with you, we'll forgive you this time. You can pull it out and text mom and get your social security number. So now is a good time to do that quietly so that the other students in the room can continue working. It asks for your date of birth, and then it asks for your name. And even though it doesn't look like it, there are 3 blanks for your name. It wants you to put your first name in the first blank. Then you can click tab if you don't see that second box, and when you click tab, that second box lights up. And then the third box for your last name. I promise it's there. So don't try to squeeze your entire name into one box. When you click continue, the next page is going to ask you to come up with 5 security questions. These are the questions that they will ask you if you were to forget your username and password at any time in your FAFSA process this year, next year, 4 years from now. Because you may be using these questions 4 or 5 years from now, it's very, very important that you make them simple questions with simple answers that will never, ever, ever change. On the first 2, you're going to pull them from the drop-down box. I really like the ones that are, what is your mother's maiden name? What city were you born in? If you went to an elementary school with a very simple name like Tamarack or Audubon, you can add that. If you have something very complicated, that's not a really good answer, so choose a different question. On the 3rd and 4th questions, it asks you to make up questions of your own. These can be simple, guys. It can be things like, what is your middle name? What is your mom's name? What is your little brother's name? The answers do have to be at least 3 characters long. So don't choose, if your brother's name is Bo, B-O, that cannot be an answer. So don't choose a question that the answer is only 2 letters long. Also, don't make it things that change. Don't make it things like, how old are you? Or who's your favorite sports team? Not that we abandon our favorite sports teams, but you may not remember, did I write UK? Did I write Wildcats? Did I write Cardinals, Louisville? So just choose things that are simple answers that never ever change, things like names. The very last question is going to ask you for a significant date in your life. You cannot use your birth date for this significant date. If you accidentally type in your birth date and you click continue, it's going to delete all those answers you've already typed in. So don't make that mistake. We also can't use graduation day because we don't know how much it's going to snow this year. We recommend, if you look at number 8D, we recommend using Christmas of the year you were born. Typically, most people remember what day Christmas falls on, typically. And they typically remember the year they were born. So that's an easy question that you can remember the answer to. What is a significant date? Your very first Christmas. As you're going and you're creating this email address, your username, your password, and all of your questions and answers, please write them down as you go. Even if you wait until the very end and then you want to write it down, it's still very difficult to remember what questions we asked and what answers we put in there. Did we capitalize it? How do we spell it? So write it down as you go. It's very, very important that you do this. Once you get all of your questions down, when you click continue, it gives you a summary and it asks you to agree to the terms and click continue. The agreement to the terms is just a checkbox. And then when you click continue, the final page is going to say secure code. That secure code has been emailed to you. So at this point, if you're to that point in the process, you can pull out your cell phones. Again, we'll let you this one time. You can pull out your cell phones and check your email, and there should be 2 emails from FSA ID. The second one should contain a verification code. When you put that secure code in and click continue, you're completely done with the whole process. You should get a green screen with lots of writing on it. At that point, you're done. You have your FSA ID. Hopefully, you've written it all down and you are good to go. If you are unable to access your email today, maybe you don't remember your password, or maybe you're not getting good service on your phone and you can't access your email. If that's the case, you can turn over your instruction sheet, and this first set of instructions here says if you are unable to verify your email address at school. You can just go ahead and click continue without verifying, and there are very specific instructions about when you get home or whenever you have better internet connection, how you can check your email address. Now, if it's Gmail or Yahoo, as you know, you probably can't check it here at school, but maybe from your phone. Again, if you're unable to do that, we have instructions about how to do that when you get home. And then if you have used your school email address, we also have instructions here for you about how to change that email address once you have a personal email address. There's one final very important thing that I want to talk to you guys about. I will be back to visit you October 4th and 6th to help you file your FAFSA. On the 4th, I'll be here from 2 p.m. to 7 p.m. And on the 6th, I'll be here from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. you can stop by the guidance office and sign up for an appointment to come see me during that time, and I can actually sit down and help you and your family file your FAFSA for you. It's very important to file it in the month of October, so it's good to go ahead and take advantage of one of those opportunities when I'm right here in your high school. If you want to come and you don't maybe need as much help, you feel comfortable with the FAFSA, you feel comfortable with the computer, the hours between 4 and 7 on October 4th are a really good time for you to come, because we'll all be in the cafeteria filing our FAFSAs together. There's going to be food and babysitting services for those little brothers and sisters that might annoy you during the process. There's all kinds of really good things happening on the 4th, so that's a really good time to sign up. Before you come that day, I want you to take this instruction sheet home with you, and on the back of your FSA ID template, I want you to walk through the process with one parent who you live with. Both you and one of the parents you live with need an FSA ID in order to file your FAFSA. So please be sure you work on that before you come to see me next week to file your FAFSA. Now, if you have a unique circumstance and you don't live with your biological parents, or you don't live with biological step or adoptive parents, you can always get in touch with me and I can help you through who you should file the FAFSA under. So if you live with a grandparent who's your legal guardian, if you have a child of your own, if you're in foster care, or if you're married, you don't file under your parents. You file under yourself. You're an independent student and you file under yourself. Now, that doesn't count for you that if you're 18, or if you file your own taxes, or if you've moved out of your parents' house. It really is only those things: married, 24, have a child of your own, been in foster care, or you live with a legal guardian who's not your parent. And if that's the case, only you need an FSA ID. You don't need to go home and do an FSA ID with somebody else. If you were to have questions or you needed anything at all, you can always get in touch with me. My phone number, if you have that pencil handy, you can write it right on your instruction sheet, is 270-316-4676. You or your parents can text me anytime with any questions that you may have, or you can find me on Facebook at Casi, C-A-S-I, at Facebook, or Twitter at Casi, C-A-S-I, _ KHEAA, K-H-E-A-A. All right, we have about 10 minutes left, so I want you guys to continue working. If you did not get finished today, keep on working. Let's get all the way through to the very end. If you get stuck, you can ask your homeroom teacher for some help. But if you do have a situation where you can't quite get through, it's saying you already have an FSA ID, or you have questions that you don't know how to answer, you can take the next few minutes. Should we wait till after homeroom, Miss Dame? They can come now. So you can go ahead and take the next few minutes, and you can head on down to the Career Center, and you can see Mr. Cameron or Miss Dame, and they can help you through the process. Now, those of you who have finished up the process, and those of you today who finished up the process, do not lose this FSA ID template. I cannot stress that enough. I actually want you to give it to your homeroom teacher. That way they can hang on to it for you and you do not lose it. If you were to lose your template, it may take anywhere from 30 minutes to 3 days to retrieve this template. And when you're sitting in front of me and I'm only here for a couple of hours and we need 3 days to retrieve your template, that makes it really hard to file your FAFSA. So take a photo of this with your phone, save it in your notes section of your phone, do anything you can to save it multiple places, write it down on the back of your instruction sheet, and then take it and turn it into your homeroom teacher. Again, if you're stuck or you weren't able to get through it today, you can go ahead and head on down to the Career Center and we'll be there in case you need any help or you have any questions. And never ever hesitate to text me if you're stuck on something or you have FAFSA questions. Remember those dates, October 4th and October 6th. Sign up, come see me, we'll get your FAFSA filed and hopefully get you started on your way to go to college. Guys, thanks so much for your time and attention this morning.